Robots are a common aspect in science fiction movies and novels and all that stuff. Like C-3PO from Star Wars. You know, he has his own personality and he can translate 1,000 languages and he can just, you know, walk and do anything he wants on his own. He basically has a brain. Now in the real world, we're not really close to having a C-3PO of our own. But robots are playing a bigger role in different aspects of our lives every day. Three of the main aspects of our lives that robots are used in now are medicine and home care and public service, like police and fire department. All right, so in medicine, robots are becoming really common, especially in surgery. Robotic surgery is becoming very popular and like a viable method for surgery. Surgery robots are robots that doctors manipulate using a computer or other various controls, and they kind of move robotic arms to do multiple tasks. And so the robots allow the doctors to be more precise, and they remove the element of human error like shaky hands and stuff like that. Robotic surgery also doesn't leave as much of a mark on patients do. One example is a patient who had 60% of their liver removed left the hospital with only 4 puncture holes instead of a big scar because a robot did the surgery as opposed to a human doctor. One specific example of a robot surgeon is the Da Vinci surgical system, which is designed to have minimum invasion on a patient, and it performs a lot of complex surgeries such as hysterectomies. Another example of a robot in medicine is prosthetic limbs for amputees and stuff like that. There's an arm called the DECA arm system, and it's one of the most advanced arms. Oh, here's a picture of it right there. And the DECA arm system uses inputs that it receives from the user's feet, believe it or not, and then other inputs to determine how to move its joints. And users of the prosthetic limb, they get to choose from 6 different grips, and they can control things that they normally wouldn't be able to. Like, I mean, instead of having just one grip, it can like grip something small like a grape right there, but then it can also handle like a power tool. So it has different grips, and it can hold things that ranging from delicate to, sturdy. The arm's going to improve the lives of many amputees who get it, and it's a great example of robots in medicine. Another field that robots are more commonly used in is that of home care, and I just switched to an example of that. That is a Roomba. A lot of people have heard of it. It's in the TV show Parks and Recreation. Tom Haverford has DJ Roomba. He puts an iPod on top of his Roomba. What it is it's a vacuum that memorizes the layout of your house and just goes around doing its own thing, vacuuming your entire house where you don't have to do anything. That's all it does all day, is it just vacuums for you, and it just goes throughout your house. They are expensive, but I mean, if you're rich enough to afford it and don't want to spend your time vacuuming, you get a Roomba. Another example of a robot in home care is it's kind of like a Roomba, but it cleans your pool for you. And instead of having any like tubes or anything like that, it does it all without it. So you just put it in your pool, kind of goes around your pool, learns the layout of it, memorizes the layout, and then it'll clean it every time you turn it on. Just go throughout every inch of the pool. It's called Amira, and it's made by the same company the Roomba is made from, called iRobot. And then an example of a home security robot. This is kind of cool. It's called the Maron 1, and it's from Japan. And what it is it has wheels, so it moves around, and then it's got, if you look at the picture, it's got 2 little eyeball cameras, and so it sends, if somebody breaks into your house, it sets off an alarm, it has a cell phone, it calls the owner of the house, and then it can send video feed to the owner through those cameras, so the owner gets to see what's going on. It's only 14 inches tall, so it just strolls about your house, looking for intruders and stuff like that. And it's just an example of how robots are being used in home security nowadays. And then a third field that robots are being used in is public service, like the police department and the fire department. One example of a police robot is that of a bomb disposal robot. And there's a picture of one right there. That's called the Mark BA-1. And so bomb disposal robots are made so they can go into situations too dangerous for humans. So if something goes wrong, there's no loss of human life. Right? And it had the Mark AV1. It has a tread wheel system, and it has 4 color cameras on it, so the operator can see everything around it, and it has a bunch of other sensors to help the operator out. And it's wirelessly controlled, so you can, you don't have to follow like a cable or anything like that, and you just send it to go to where the bomb is. It moves at the very fast speed of 3.5 miles per hour, which sounds slow, but it's fast with bomb disposal robots. And then an example of a firefighting robot, the U.S. Navy is actually making a robot called the Sapphire. And what it is it stands up on 2 legs, and it's not in production yet, but it stands up on 2 legs, and it'll be able to do multiple things like, put water on a fire or go through a fire, because it has a temperature resistance of 500 degrees Celsius. And then other firefighting robots that are in production today, they're like tanks kind of, and they carry water or foam into a fire, into dangerous parts where a human wouldn't be able to go. So robots are used in many aspects of life today, and the 3 of those aspects are medicine, home care, and then public service. Robots may not be up to par with the fictional robots of science fiction, but they are already making our lives easier today. Amen.